Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the Haunted Basement Studio. I'm your host, Triple B, and we're doing another 5-minute review, dude. We're going to rock out 3 comic books that I read this week, and we're going to give you a quick plot synopsis of it, give you my ranking, tell you about the art, tell you about the story, and, it's going to be a little bit of minor spoilers, but not so much that you can't go pick up and read for yourself. All right, man. The first book is going to be Dark Pyramid. And this is from Mad Cave. This is issue number 2 of 4. So, real quick, issue number 1, a live streamer goes to Alaska to do some filming. He's vlogging live, but then he falls off the freaking mountain and he disappears. And his girlfriend goes to Alaska to try to find him. The locals there set her up at an Airbnb halfway up the mountain. When she gets there, she gets attacked by some sort of creature, but this other character shows up and she is trying to help her escape. And as they escape, this is where this one picks up, issue number 2. Okay, so now the two of them are running in the middle of night, snow everywhere on the ground. This creature is chasing them and they're swearing up and down, "What the bleep is this? Who the bleep is this? What is this?" And as the one lady that shows up seems like she has a lot of knowledge, she's like, we need to go to this certain spot. And as they make it to this certain spot, it's almost like a ritual spot, but like all these like almost like candles or logs up in the snow. Once they get there, the creature cannot pass that. And the creature says, "Oh, okay." And the creature like disappears. And so then the lady is telling the vlogger's girlfriend, "Hey, this is what I know so far. Back in 1992, what they say, like the Chinese, they did a freaking atomic bomb, something that was more nuclear, more explosive than the atomic bomb. They set off down below in the ground. But when they did that, all sorts of shit happened, dude. And next thing you know, they found like a black pyramid that was buried a long time ago. So the earth took over it, right? And they're saying this black pyramid is freaking 3 times larger than the Great Pyramid of Giza. And I was watching your boyfriend's live vlog when he tripped and fell, but he found something down there. So I am going to go follow his tracks to try to find him and see what he saw, what he found. You're coming with me. But first thing we need to do, we need to get to Foot Camp. And it's this old freaking mansion, big old party house that this millionaire made halfway up the mountain. So let's get there. And now they're going to cut to Foot Camp where there's a big old party going on. Lots of people drinking, maybe doing drugs, maybe some orgies happening. And then all of a sudden the creature shows up and starts ripping bodies apart, taking off limbs, taking off legs. And as the crowd dispersed outside into the snow, our 2 main characters are getting to the camp, to the cabin, and they get trampled over by the group. And everybody's screaming. The one girl gets knocked out, the one with all the knowledge. And the other girl's so damn scared, she doesn't know what to do. She picks her up, and they start to take off to try to get away from the creature, where all of a sudden you run into some military people, and they're like, we got this covered. And to find out, this military group is actually working with the creature, and that's how it ends. So we only got 2 more stories going on, and we got like atomic bombs getting dropped. We got dark pyramids buried underground, larger than the Great Pyramid of Giza. You got military people trying to help this. It's got to be an alien, right? It kind of doesn't look like an alien, but who knows what an alien really looks like. I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. So let me talk about the art in this. The art in this one is just okay. I mean, I will probably just give the art maybe like a 6 out of 10. And then there was the story is it kind of fell off a little bit because when it jumps to the party where maybe there's an orgy going on, there's a lot of freaking dialogue, a lot of people in there. So, and then how it kind of dispersed, it almost lost me there for a second, but then it pulled me back at the end when our two main characters, because the whole time we're only following one character, then we get another character coming in, then you got the creature, and then you want to throw this party in with a bunch of people, kind of like it was a little bit too much, but I see where they went with it. But how it ended, it definitely ended in a cliffhanger, and we'll see where issue number 3 goes. But so, like I said, it was a 6 out of 10 on the art. Story, I'm going to drop the story to a 6 out of 10. I love pyramids and I love alien crap, but I just it's okay. I'm trying to follow it, trying to want to be super excited about it. But it's I mean, 6 out of 10, it's not too bad. So yeah, we'll see what we got next. All right, man. The next book that we are going to be talking about is Pop Kills. This is the second printing of issue number 1, and it is from Mad Cave. So, man, this book is pretty crazy, dude. Okay, so what this book is about is there's two soda companies owned by two different brothers, and they're always trying to put the other one out of business. And then we got this dude that is a hitman that slept with one of the brothers' mistress, and so now he owes this millionaire a bunch of work. And so he's doing all this work trying to finish the job so he can get out from underneath his thumb. But his last job that he needs to do is that he needs to go figure out what's going on with his brother's company, because they found a new formula for soda where the carbonation doesn't die off right away, so you can open up a soda and it never goes flat. And so when he finds out, actually he kills a bunch of people, but then he finds out who is the lead researcher on this carbonation formula, and it's this hot chick, right? And so this hitman is a playboy too, man. He sleeps around with all these girls, and so he breaks into her house because he wants to get into her computer, and that's where he finds the formula, but the formula is not quite ready yet. And as he's in her house, she's in the backyard, she gets out of the pool, dude, and she's naked, and he's like, oh my God. So he has to take off. So he goes and he tells his boss for the last job, hey, I'm done with my job, because actually, since he found this out, he was done. But then the soda boss man's like, dude, I'll pay you whatever you want. Let me hire you. And he's like, okay, give me $3 million and one more night with your mistress. He's like, no, I'm just playing. Just give me the $3 million though. And so he does. And the freaking soda owner, he's like, I want this girl killed. He's like, and do it clean, because I don't want this coming back on me that I sent a hit out. But if my brother gets this formula, he's going to put me out of business. So the next day, he goes and he flattens all of her tires so she can't drive into work. And plus, he locked the dog walker in the elevator, so she has to take her dog with her. She tries to get on the bus, but the bus driver won't let her bring the dog on. And now it's starting to rain, pouring cats and dogs outside. He pulls up in his freaking sports car and he starts talking to her and says, hey, I'll give you a ride. She's like, okay, I guess so. And then they hit it off. Man, he's charming her, he's flirting with her. She's flirting back with him. By the time that they do get to her job, he's like, you know what? I can watch the dog for the rest of the day. And plus, I can pick you up after work. That gives me another chance to see you. And she's like, oh my God, you're so nice. And so she says, okay, you know what? How can I repay you? How about I cook you a home meal tonight after work? He's like, oh yeah. So you know what's going to happen later on, right? But no, so the end of the shift, he goes back and picks her up, and he takes her back to her house, and they're getting ready to eat some spaghetti. And looks like things might be starting to get hot and heavy. But then all of a sudden he tells her, you know what? We need to talk about this carbonation formula you have. And that's how it ended. So it's going to go crazy. And we're talking soda pop here, people. We're talking soda pop. But man, we're talking hitman. We're talking, maybe, a relationship. I don't think he wants to kill her, because they're flirting with each other. I think he wants to bone her, dude, is what's going to happen. And maybe he does the old switcheroo. I don't know. But Pop Kills issue number 1. The story was a freaking, I'm going to give it we'll do an 8 out of 10, which is really good, dude. At first, there was a ton of dialogue. Look at all that. And I was like, "Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know if I like all this dialogue," but right there, he's the ladies' man, dude. He got done having an orgy with all these girls. But no, it reads really smooth, really fast. There is a lot of dialogue in it, but it works really good. It's simple, it flies by. The art in it, I'll give the art, the art's a classic good comic book art right there. We do have a panel of a naked chick on it, so that was pretty rad. I mean, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10, which is pretty solid. And, Mad Cave, I mean, the stories is great. Like I said, the story is an 8, art's, a 7, and the letter is okay, I can give it a 7 as well. But it is a really, it surprised me of because at first I'm like, "Oh, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it," but the more I read it, I'm like, "Oh, man, I'm digging this. I can't wait to read issue number 2 now." So, man, hell yeah. Pop Kills from Mad Cave number 1. Highly recommend this one. Okay, dude, we got one more to go. All right, man. The next book and last book we're going to talk about in this video is Grimm Tales of Terror, the Divic Box, issue number 4. And this came out a few months ago, but man, this one was a good one. So let me tell you all about this one from Zenescope, baby. All right, man. It's going to start off with Barry and his wife getting ready to eat dinner, but he's telling her about last night at the bar with his friend Darren. And there was a bachelorette party, but his wife wants nothing of it. And he's like, "Okay, babe. Well, I'm gonna head off to the bar." And as he goes and gets ready, she shows up with half of her clothes off in the bedroom, and she says, "You think the bar can wait, hun?" He's like, "Oh my God, yes, it can." And as she gets on top of him and gets ready to pull her blouse off, she pulls out a knife and then blood goes everywhere. And then we cut to the police station. What happened is she self-deleted herself right in front of him. And the detectives are like, "Man, you think this guy is innocent or guilty?" They're like, "Well, he's got a small rap sheet, but only small little pedal things, nothing too big. But he has had 2 wives die in mysterious ways." And as they say, "Well, let's go back in there and question him some more." But before they could do that, his lawyer shows up, some chick, and says, "You can't hold my client for nothing. You have no evidence." And so as they leave the police station, he's like, "Oh my God, that was close." And as they get in the car, they start making out. And so obviously he was cheating on his wife with his lawyer friend. And he's like, "You know what, man? I need a drink." She's like, "It's 11 o'clock in the afternoon." She's like, "I have clients that I got to get to." She says, "Okay, drop me off at the bar." And then she's like, "Okay, I will see you later for drinks." But before he can walk into the bar, their rabbi shows up and he walks up to him and says, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear about what happened to Rachel. And she's been seeing some things. She's been going through some darkness, and there's dark things out in this world that are ready to get you." He's like, "Oh my God, Rabbi, I do not have time for this." And later on at the bar, he is drinking with his friend Darren. And Darren says, "You know what? I got a hot date. It's time for me to go." He's like, "Hey, haven't you drank too much?" He's like, "Yeah, probably, but it never stopped me before." Now, as Darren gets in his car to drive away, he's driving down the street trying to remember the hooker's name that he's going to go pick up. And then all of a sudden, he sees like a dark figure in the road, and he's like shaking his head. He's like, "Oh my God, what was that? Was that some sort of ghost? I don't know. Maybe I did drink too much." And then all of a sudden, that ghost is in the back seat, and he says, "Hello, Darren." And it possesses him, and he goes crazy, and he goes 100 miles an hour, and he slams right into a brick wall, and he's dead. And then now Barry's phone rings, and it's 5 a.m. in the morning, and it's the cops, and they want to talk to him because they just found his best friend dead. And now Barry is driving down to the police station with his lawyer friend when all of a sudden they see the ghost girl again, and it possesses the lawyer. And she looks at Barry and says that, "I'm going to make your life a living hell." As she opens up the door and jumps out of a running car, and she dies and blood splatters everywhere. He slams on the brake. He's like, "Oh my God." And he looks up and he sees the ghost child, and he gets super scared, and he takes off back in his car. And the first thing he does, he picks up his phone to call the rabbi, and he says, "You need to tell me everything." And now Barry pulls up to a warehouse where he thinks it's the rabbi's temple. He's like, "What is this?" As the rabbi comes out and says, "Come in, Barry, hurry up. Come in before she comes in. This is the safest place that you can be with all these candles lit everywhere." Barry's like, "I need to know what's going on, Rabbi." He says, "You are being haunted by a malevolent spirit, and the spirit is going to be killing all the people around you until it gets to you and it's going to kill you." He's like, "Well, what are we going to do?" He's like, "Here, you need to smoke this to go to the other world, go to limbo, where in between life and death, the spirits are." He's like, "I ain't going to smoke this. What is this?" He's like, "It's DMT." He's like, "Well, if you don't smoke it, well, I guess that spirit will come and kill you." He's like, "Okay, wait a second, Rabbi. Okay, how do we do this?" He's like, "You just inhale this and hold it in until I tell you to release it." So Barry does. And all of a sudden he wakes up. He's in like a spirit world with all of this ritual symbols on the wall. And then all of a sudden the ghost girl shows up and he remembers the phrases that the rabbi told him to say as he's saying these phrases. But the spirit girl says, "You don't even remember me, do you? You remember me back in eighth grade? You and your friends used to tease me and push me down." He's like, "Oh my God, it's Rose. You killed yourself. Oh my God, I didn't know you killed yourself because of me." And as he keeps on saying these phrases over and over again that the rabbi gave him, she says, "Don't say that again. Don't say that again." And he says it again. And then all of a sudden, she's like, "I tricked you. You were saying a phrase that you don't even know the meaning of." And as he gets transformed and gets locked into the Divic box, and as the spirit girl looks over the Divic box, says, "Now you are trapped there forever." The end of Grimm Tales of Terror right there. All right, man. Sorry I went a little bit spoiler on that one, but man, the story right there was a freaking 9 out of 10. Crazy as hell. Loved it. The art in it was an 8 out of 10. It was so smooth, especially this cover. This cover is a 10 out of 10. And it's so silky smooth, man. I think it's shiny as hell. Definitely dig it. The letter in it was okay. They kind of go dark. Here's some of the art in it with that ghost right there. Check that thing out right there. It's pretty freaking cool. I dig it a lot. So hell yeah, that was an amazing freaking book right there. That's why I love Grimm Tales of Terror. All right, man, that was it. Those were the 3 books I read this week. Why don't you tell me down below what 3 books you read and if they were any good or not? Because sometimes they're good and sometimes they're shit. So, but all these books were great. If we really want to go through the order, if we're gonna have to go through, I would say, what was it? Pop Kills, probably. I don't know. This is the one shot and this is not, so they're like both the same. For a one shot, this was great, and for a first issue with continuing the story, Pop Kills was awesome. And then Dark Pyramid issue 2, I got 3 and 4, so we will be reading those ones next, and hopefully it can pick up because the story dropped just a little bit for me on that one. But man, Mad Cave killing it, Zenescope killing it. Let me know if there's a book that you want me to review up on this show. Put it down in the comment section below as well. All right, man. Go ahead and like the like the video if you liked it, right? It's free of charge. Subscribe to the channel if you want to. It's all good, man. If you don't, no worries. And I want you guys to remember one thing. You keep it haunted. Comics. Laters.